Welcome to Between the Left and a Hard Place, and we are a center-left podcast. See, it's right here. My name is Dean Charles. Today we're going to gently broach the subject of the Charlie Kirk assassination. I have a difficult time processing this. I don't understand it. It's something that boggles my mind. I was born in 1960, and I sort of remember when JFK was murdered. I don't remember it well. I was 3. But the one thing I remember is that JFK Jr. was on TV, and I was told he's the same age as you. I had a chance to meet him later in life before he died. Just meet him. I didn't know him or anything. But I do remember when Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated and RFK was assassinated. And I didn't understand it then, and I still don't understand it today. It just doesn't process through my mind how that could happen. I guess the only word is evil involved in, planning that out and actually murdering someone in that fashion. Charlie Kirk was a beloved guy. I'm a Democrat, so I didn't, as I say, a center-left Democrat. I'm not a socialist. Talk about that all the time. Not a socialist. Charlie Kirk was definitely a beloved guy. People admired him. He spoke to people in a way that they could appreciate and take heart of what he was saying. He inspired and influenced, a young generation, especially of kids. I mean, I know a lot of the kids, especially the young men, Charlie Kirk showed up on their social media feeds every day. This is a guy that had a lot of influence. My heart goes out to his family. This shouldn't happen to anyone. No one should wish this on anyone. It makes no sense. I can't process it myself. I do watch a lot of news on TV, the right, the left, the center, the extremes on both sides on the podcasts. And it's just not processing. People have so many different thoughts and angles and reasons and blame. And I don't even know how to explain it, what everybody's talking about, because none of it really makes sense when you put it all together. But there is one component that everyone seems to agree on. I say I watch a lot of TV, CNN, Fox, Newsmax, and everything in between, all the podcasts and all that. It's one thing that everyone does seem to agree on, that social media plays a big part in what happened. Is it to blame 100%? No. But is it a big part of it? Yes. That's what everyone seems to agree on. I'm just telling you from everything that I've seen and that I've watched, nobody has challenged that at all. The extremists don't bring it up. I think the extremists make money over extreme things. They make money over hits and likes, and being extreme is the way they do that. They don't want to get rid of social media. Social media is where the crux of the problem is. People tend to agree on that. But meanwhile, we're not doing anything about social media. Nobody's doing anything about it. It's not going anywhere. Congress is ineffective on anything like that. And it bothers me because I don't know what could have been done to save Charlie Kirk's life, but something could have been done. Most people, including myself, are worried about who's next. What are we going to do about it? What can we do to prevent it? What are the solutions? Congress isn't even talking about it. I mean, there's the whole TikTok thing that Trump's involved with, because the one thing Congress did do is they voted to disband TikTok because the Chinese were controlling the algorithms, right? It's simple. And let's keep this simple. The Chinese control the algorithms, right? And do we really want that in the United States? I know a lot of people have a lot of businesses on TikTok, and it's very functional and useful. President Trump has kept it going, trying to figure out a solution. But meanwhile, Congress did vote on it. It was bipartisan. It wasn't just the Republicans or the Democrats. It was bipartisan, understanding that the Chinese controlled the narrative and the algorithms. And did we really want that? And Congress voted no. It's one of the only things they've ever done. And now it's in limbo. I'm hoping President Trump sticks to his word and takes care of the problem and the national security issues and the algorithm issues. This is serious stuff. You got to understand, in the 90s, when Bill Clinton was president, the internet was coming of age. And the Clinton administration did a pretty in-depth study on how to handle the internet. And I even think Newt Gingrich was involved, and they had the Republicans involved. But to make a long story short, The outcome was hands off the internet. That was the decision of the Clinton administration, hands off the internet. And then when George W. Bush became president, he had the same approach, hands off the internet. He continued that approach. I don't think either one of them realized the Pandora's box they were about to unleash on the world. There were some people shouting the possible warnings, but I don't think anybody really could understand what was about to be unleashed. Today's world, in the last couple of years, some of the smartest people in the world, literally the smartest people in the world, have gone in front of Congress and said, we need to regulate AI. This is dangerous. AI is going to be dangerous. Person after person went in front of Congress and stated this. What did Congress do? Nothing. The only thing they did was the TikTok thing because of China, really. But they've done nothing else. So now all these really smart guys have started these huge AI companies, and they're going to run the world. Who knows what this is going to unleash? People are more willing to accept that this is going to unleash something on the world that we're not ready for, but nobody's doing anything about it. So now we have an understanding because of what happened with the internet, where people didn't really have an understanding of what was going to be unleashed. Now we're like, AI could really unleash something huge, something that we can't even conceive of right now. And we better be prepared for it. But are we prepared for it? Hell no. And the smartest people in the world went from warning to taking part in making money off of it is what it really comes down to, making money off of it. What it's going to unleash, we are not prepared. They all continue to say it, but they're participating in it anyway. What does this have to do with Charlie Kirk's assassination? Charlie was always trying to be a pragmatic guy, in my opinion. He was led by his faith, but he didn't only talk about his faith. He talked to people on their own level and where they were at and tried to inspire. And he tried to get the best out of people, inspire the best, get a job that you like, go into a field that you can earn a living and be proud of and have a family, because having a family is the most important thing, and being part of your community. Those are the messages that he took that resonated all over the world even, but certainly among the youth in this country. And specifically, he went to colleges, as everybody knows. I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know. I'm just telling you my perception of Charlie. I mean, I saw him on podcasts that he was a guest on. I've listened to his podcast. On occasion, I've seen snippets of some of his college affairs that he had. And he was a, incredible guy. I don't know what his ambitions were for the future. A lot of people say he was a future president. I'm curious to know if he had those ambitions. I don't know. Maybe he said that to somebody along the way. I don't know. He seemed happy in what he was doing, but he was truly an admirable guy, a really admirable guy. There needs to be more like him, even though people say there's never going to be another person like Charlie Kirk. I hope that's not true. I hope there's other people that can take on that role, that can really influence people into positive role models, into positive directions that are for the good of humanity. That's where we seem to be. I don't have any answers. I can't comprehend this stuff myself, but we need solutions. We need people to step up and be pragmatic and cognitive. People need to release the anger because there's enough blame to go around for everyone. Seriously, I've watched all the different sides, and I'd like to name names, but I don't really want to do that. And I can tell you, in every position, whether you're center, left, right, extreme, whatever, I agree and disagree with everyone. And I find things that I agree with and I find things I disagree with just about everyone. I wish there was a way back to the middle, because that's kind of what I believe, that people need to find the way back to the middle. I don't think Charlie disagreed with that. He wanted common sense and pragmatism to take over, and his faith is what brought him to those conclusions. That's my perception anyway. And I wish people in Congress and President Trump would step up and realize that that's what he was about and take on his vision. I don't think that anybody with common sense themselves would disagree with that position. Can Congress do that? Because in Congress, nobody even talks to each other. They don't have real conversations with each other. It's just you go your way and I'll go mine kind of thing. And that just creates hostility, don't you think? And where are we going to go? What are we going to do? What are the solutions? Can someone please think about this? Can someone step up? I'm just an old guy trying to be pragmatic and figure out some way for people to come up with solutions to how we're going to move forward. so this doesn't happen again. I know that's on everyone's mind. Who's next? It's terrible that we have to think that way. Making people scared is not the answer. So what are the solutions? So everyone, wherever you are, if you have it in you, please, let's try and figure this out. Are you with me or not? That's what I want to know. I'm nobody special. I'm just some guy thinking, hey, can't everybody get together and solve this? People just want safety and opportunity. I always say that on all my podcasts. Safety and opportunity is what people want. And right now, nobody's feeling safe. Nobody anywhere. That's horrible. So please, Congress, look at this, set Charlie as an example and talk to each other. Of course, there's a lot of disagreements. I did a radio show in Las Vegas for 4 years, a Hannity and Combs style radio show. My partner, we've actually been friends for a long time. He's deeply involved in the Republican Party here in the state of Nevada, pretty MAGA. Even though we disagreed on some things, most things we agreed on. Now, I'm not a socialist. Part of my platform was, don't call me a socialist. I'm a Democrat, but I'm not a socialist. I believe that the Socialist Party should have its own party. I don't believe it should be part of the Democratic Party. So I don't understand why it is. But that's a whole other thing. My point is that my partner and I agreed on most things. I'm not a far left Democrat, but I still have the reasons why I lean left. And we agreed on most things. And if people just talk to each other, I think they find that they'd agreed with most things as well. Obviously there's things that you disagree with, but please let's try to keep that in mind and get on board for that ride. That's where people need to be. I know I'm blabbering, so I'm going to end right here. And I want to thank everybody for listening and stay tuned for my next podcast. Thanks.